Let's go.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, one of the most sought-after speakers on the circuit today. Her live internet talk show, Express Yourself, is the most provocative, thought-provoking, and talked-about radio show on the internet. There's no holds barred, and Dr. Milligan puts the B in bold. She brings it every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Rosie has been proclaimed the most provocative female writer of the century. Her books include Satisfying the Black Man and Black Woman Sexually Made Simple, Why Black Men Choose White Women, and the book Nigga Please. These books have raised eyebrows across the country. She has authored 21 books and published 350 titles for authors nationwide. Check Dr. Rosie out at drrosie.com for her books, articles, and archives of her internet talk show. Sit at the feet of wisdom. Dr. Milligan is indeed a timekeeper and scorekeeper. She is the clock, calendar, and almanac for Black America. You need to hear her.
Good morning, top of the morning. You listen to the Express Yourself Hour. I am your host, Dr. Rosie Milligan, coming to you live, always with nothing but straight talk. Yeah, straight talk, folks. That's how we do it around here. Nothing but straight talk. My co-host is the wonderful, the fabulous. You guys know him. He's the invisible man. Still haven't showed up. The bet is still on. Mr. Keith Swanson, radio personality in his own right. People been looking for him since, well, before COVID. So now that we're out of COVID, he still can't be found. Keith. Come on, man. When you going to come out of hiding?
And when the NFT price gets to a certain amount, Dr. Rosie would tell me.
Maybe you come out when the gas goes down.
That's a long story. Okay. We can talk about it, but this is, oh gosh.
Man.
Can you screw up a country any better?
You can't.
Wow.
You cannot.
Oh my goodness.
That's what you call screwing up everybody. People still trying to hold. And now some people have the nerve to say, no, we want to come back. We don't want to work at home. What?
Yeah, you know what, people? That is a problem, and it's understandable. But people are not used to working in isolation like that. And it's cool when you first start, but most people can't. Just like with the kids, I don't know if you had children at home when under COVID, when they were actually remote learning. The kids hated it. You thought they would love it, 4 hours, and then they're at home and they can do what they want. No, they hated it. They absolutely hated it. They couldn't wait to go back.
They didn't want their spouse home. I'm not used to you being here. You working all hours. You're busy. You're traveling. Now all of a sudden you here trying to run something.
Oh, yep. You're trying to run something. Yeah. You're at home and you're not. Most people get their interaction from work. They don't get it from being at home. So they're not used to it. And same thing with the children being at home and not being around their schoolmates. So a lot of people can't wait to go back to work. There's only certain personalities that want to work from home.
Well, I tell you what, the way this gas price, I would sure want to work from home if I was them. But
yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah, the gas prices, fuel prices are and they're going to go, since China's opened back up, it's going to get worse. So we haven't seen the worst of it yet. Yeah. Oh yeah. Remember, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. It's the fuel prices were already up because of COVID and the supply chain. Because the fuel prices went way down. I think it was it's like early 2020. They went down to China was locked down. They went down to oil prices went down to minus $37 per barrel because there's just so much of it. Nobody's using it. And COVID being locking down people, there was no use for it, right? But the thing is, your supply chain got all busted up. In other words, factories were closed, ships weren't shipping anything and stuff like that. So all your shelves got empty. And then when everything opened back up, now you have this big rush to restock everything, catch back up with your orders, right? That never really got completed. So that's how come the fuel prices went up and up and up and up. They never stabilized because you still hadn't finished recovering from COVID. And then And then the second lockdown happened, okay, and then with China, which caused another supply chain problem, which still hadn't recovered from the supply chain fixing itself. And then what you had is, in the Ukraine, you had sanctions. They sanctioned Russia, and Russia is like the second biggest oil producer in the world. So if you sanction them and you can't, what you're doing is cutting off your fuel supply, your oil supply. So guess what's going to happen to, supply and demand? If the supply goes down, guess what's going to happen to the prices? It's going to go up because you broke the supply chain again. So, fortunately, China was in lockdown. It's been in Shanghai is the biggest city in China, the biggest port in China where everything comes out of, right? So it's been in lockdown for 2.5 months. So what you had is oil and fuel prices going up in a Chinese lockdown. China's the biggest oil user on the planet. So if you have rising oil prices and rising gas prices, when your biggest oil user is locked down, what's going to happen when they open back up?
Wow.
They're going to start using it again. All the demand, food, all that kind of stuff is going to go up.
Yeah.
So oil is at 120 last I looked. So they predicted the peak oil prices in 2008. Remember when gas got to be damn near $5 a gallon in 2008?
Right.
Oil prices had peaked at 147. So they're looking at 150, 160. So look for oil and gas prices to go up another 20% at least.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen the peak yet.
Well, somebody have on here said the national average of gas would be $6.50 per gallon by the end of the year. And California, it would be $10 per gallon.
I don't know, $10. I don't think it'll get that high because there's a certain point where people just stop buying. Mm-hmm. And we're pretty close to that point. So I think I think the national average is about 4 something, almost 5. I think 6 is good. I think in California, I think it'll peak about 8, 9, maybe 9, but I don't think it's getting higher than that. But
he said, get your bike out. That's what he said. Get your bike now.
The thing is, people look at fuel as me paying at the pump, right? But you don't realize, okay, all your commodity, your consumer prices like food and everything else has gone up like 20-25% minimum, right? Mm-hmm. So if this keeps up, look for another 20% inflation. That's ridiculous. But what is it? Europe is already looking at 70% inflation already because of this thing.
Well, if this keep up, y'all better, single women, you better look for a husband. The women are whispering sweet nothings right now. Okay, they really are. Yes, they are. They're trying to curl up and get people to come back, and they're trying to make up now, huh, Keith?
Yeah, they saying what's love? They saying what's love got to do with it?
Wow, you guys, that's interesting. Yeah. All right, well, you guys, we have a great show for you today. Mm-hmm. We're going to discuss 5 things your family need to know should you not return home. Now, someone said to me, how can you discuss a topic like that? Because there are people every day that's not returning home because of the mass killings and COVID, and even cases, I understand, increasing. You just might not return home. That's why I say when you leave home each day, you expect to return. But if not, is your personal and business affairs in order? I ask that question every day. Some people say to me, Keith, well, I don't need to think about living trusts and all that stuff because my health, I'm doing good. My health, I don't have any problem. Those people who left home did not have any problems either, but they did not make it home. So I know this may be scary topic or one that's uncomfortable, but I think it's important for us to just really keep look at the fact, if we do not return home when we leave, what are some of the things our family need to know? Now, people shy away from this kind of topic. People don't want to talk about death. They don't want to talk about any of these things, but these are things that I think people need to talk about. So that's why I decided to do this show today. So I see my other co-host is on, Shawana Bordenay. You know, she's the Valley girl, you guys. She's so busy selling real estate, selling houses, buying houses, that it's hard to catch up with her. So we counted a bonus when we have her on our show. Good morning, Shawana, moneymaker, baby.
The money girl. That's what I like her. The money maker.
Shawana?
Is she there?
I'm here.
And somebody was told Shawana when she was a little girl, shake your money maker, because she makes it.
You know what? I swear that's crazy. You know, when I would always knock on doors and I would always get deals all the time, left and right. People were like, "Oh, I sell you my property. Yeah, come on in." My ex-brother-in-law used to, we used to compete with each other.
That's bad for
and he
him.
says, "Do you walk up backwards?"
You got rabbit foot.
I'm like, shut up.
They thought you had a rabbit foot in your purse, huh?
Ooh, she had something. I'd ask her the same question.
And things have not changed with the girl. Things have not changed. They love that Valley girl, okay? They love that Valley girl.
Yes, I do get deals. I do all the time. Thank God for that.
Well, you have the personality, You have the personality and you have the caring. You have what it takes to make people
I think that's
really
what it is. It's the caring part of it.
It's
the caring part that matters, because when the person knows that, you have their everything is good and their everything is, you want to take care of them, and if they sell it to you, they'll be doing a good thing. They sell it to me, because I tell them everything. I mean, I write everything in black and white, so they deal with me. And I do think you have to have that personality. People, it's not the product that they're buying, it's the person that they're buying. And if they feel comfortable and they trust you and they know that you have integrity, they deal with you. So.
And you know what? It's different too when you're out there trying to sell or selling, and you're not in a desperate situation. It makes a difference, because then I think people can see that you're showing your concern. But those people who are there desperate, if I don't make this sale, I'm going to lose my house while I'm trying to sell yours. They have a different attitude. They rush. They don't have the patience. They're trying to push you into signing papers, and that makes a big difference. So Valley Girl got it going on, you guys. She got money.
Sounds like her next book, The Art of Selling. Compassionate selling. Compassionate selling.
Hey, I'm gonna teach you how to find them and get the loans and fix them up and sell them for a profit. Yeah, that's the next book. Teaching people how to do that, because it's not all about just me making money. It's about us all making money and building assets for ourselves, not only for ourselves but for our family as well. So,
all right,
I think all that's important.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, you guys, we're going to jump into the 5 things your family need to know should you not return home. I'm going to read that again, because people get uncomfortable with that, because they just know they're returning home. That's why I tell people, when you leave home each day, don't leave slamming the doors and cussing the person behind you, because you may never see them again. It's a way to leave home, you guys. I'm telling you, there are people going through a lot of grief right now, because the last conversation they had with their loved one was one of regret. So I don't care how angry you are when you leave, when you walk out that door, even though you may have just cursed them out. But before you close that door, say, baby, I love you, okay? Leave that with them, that you love them. Because it doesn't mean that you don't love them because you just cursed them out or said something you shouldn't have said. That doesn't take away love. And people forget that. You know what she didn't love me. No. So it's important. And speaking of that, a lot of people don't even know how to say I love you. I have a friend like that in New Orleans. I was telling him, I said, I love you. And you know what he said, Keith? Me too. Me too. I said, me too. What's that me too shit?
Ditto. What about ditto?
Ditto,
yeah, me too. I said, can you say you love me? Rosie, I ain't never told nobody that. I said, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. So he never told anybody he loved them. You going around talking about me too, you know. So finally, last week I told him, I said, I love you. I said, come on, tell me you love me. Okay, I love you, Rosie. He burst out laughing. I said, don't even sound sincere. Oh, my God. But we're going to talk about the 5 things. Now, really, this is important because whenever you leave home, somebody need to know your destination. That's critical. Just last week, I hope my daughter's not listening because I'm telling her son. Her son and his wife, they was going to Hawaii. Mm-hmm. So she said, well, you know, what hotel are you all staying? You need.
Dr. Rosie?
You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It is critical to know where you're going, what hotel you're going to be at. Now, people may think that this isn't good information, but it is. Mm-hmm. I have never been grown. I have never left anybody's house if I was staying with them, visiting or whatever, without telling them where I was going. Mm-hmm. So, Keith, what is it people think? I'm grown. I don't have to tell you. What is wrong with folks for not sharing this type of information?
They don't, they don't want to be judged in that they grew up not being judged and being watched. So they think that somebody's going to judge me or watch me or betray me. So they try to keep their business secret. That's all.
Wow. Well, I'm telling you, that's not a good thing. What you think about that, Shawana? Do you tell your family members when you're going out of town or just certain things about yourself?
All the time. I always tell them. And the other day, yesterday I went out with one of my friends, and he said to me, he said, I'm in the neighborhood. I'm going to come pick you up. Let's go to lunch. So I said, okay. So we were going to lunch, and he said, when we were walking to go get the lunch, he says, and he picked me up. Normally I drive. He said, did you tell anybody where you were going? I said, no. I said, should I? I mean, what you planning? He said, nobody. You didn't tell Barrington. You didn't tell Danielle. Nobody. You didn't tell anybody where you were going. And I thought to myself, well, maybe I should have.
You should, yeah. At least one person
should always
know.
Tell somebody where you're going.
Yeah.
Always.
Absolutely.
Because then you have, anything happen to you, an accident or something like that, they can always retrace your steps.
Yeah.
My daughter used to do that when she was younger, right? And she wouldn't tell anybody where she was going. I said, I know you don't want to be judged. I know you don't want people to be in your business. But the thing is that if anything happens to you, we need to be able to retrace your steps and find you, find you if you're still alive, or at least if you're not alive, find your body or something like that. So I always tell at least one person. Yeah.
Right.
And another good thing that you should do too, and I do, I share my location with at least 3 people, like my kids. I share my location with one of my girlfriends and 2 of my kids.
Okay.
So everybody can always look on the location and locate me.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
No matter where I am.
So if you're not living with someone, there's no one in your home, call a friend, tell somebody what you are doing. That's important, Okay, the other thing is that you should, number 1 is your whereabouts, your destination, where you're headed, where you're going. Number 2, the person that you leave with. Now, this is really personal, but it is important. You need to have information on the person that you're with. Now, why am I saying that? Say you're out with a woman, Keith. She gets sick in an accident. You guys in an accident. Who do you know to call to let them know that she's been injured, she's in an emergency room, she's in critical condition? Who do you call?
That's true.
Who do you call? You never know. I tell all of my friends, I have their children telephone number, because if we're together and something happened, if I didn't get that information, it would be an awful feeling to be with someone who's in a critical accident in the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anybody to call their kids to let them know. Now, folks, I'm having this show because this is some vital information.
Right.
That's very important.
Yeah.
You know, you need to get information about the person that you're with.
Yeah. You know what, Dr. Rosie, I think somebody should actually make a program to go on, because everybody has a smartphone, right? Most people, right? There should be a way to actually get emergency information off of somebody's smartphone with the press of a button. Not letting them into the whole phone, but just that vital information, like a contact information, or next to kin or somebody to contact person, just by a touch of a button. So no matter who it is, where in the world you are, somebody can press a button and say, okay, this is the person to call, this is the person, this is the number, this is the person's address, or wherever it is, and so they can actually contact somebody in an emergency without trying to fiddle with opening up a phone, because it's all there. The thing is,
that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
That's brilliant.
That is, Keith. You need to put that together and get paid on that one.
I might talk to some programmers, because I know a whole bunch of programmers, because I think that's necessary. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think it is.
I totally agree.
Yeah, it was a guy that used to work in my office, and he got sick, and he ended up in the hospital, and the next day he passed. And I got a phone call because when they looked in his cell phone, I was the last number that he had called. So they figured I must have known him. You know, so this kind of stuff is important.
Right.
To know. How you going to leave home going with somebody you know nothing about that person? You don't know his kids, his mother, phone number, anybody to get in touch with if something happened to them. You know, you have to be very cognizant of that.
Right.
But you just never know. No. You need to tell somebody when you leave home. No, you guys may have other insight on that. I just think it's not being nosy if you leave home with someone and you say to them, well, give me the telephone number or your next of kin if something happened to you. Do you think they would have reservation about giving you that information, Keith?
I think so. Because most people never thought about it, so they've never considered why they should do it. But yeah, I think they should.
And if you don't know anybody, I don't want to go out with you. Something wrong.
Well, the thing you should, but you know what? I think
something is wrong when you don't have anybody that you can give me a phone number to.
Well, back when we were coming up, Dr. Rosie, that was a no-no. Okay, you never went out with anybody that you didn't at least have talked to for at least a week. You just didn't pop up and just run off, and that was always considered dangerous, even for men. You never went with anybody you didn't talk to for at least a week that you had gotten to know. But in this hookup culture, it's like y'all just exchange phone numbers or be online or on Facebook and say, "Oh, I'm going to meet up with you. Yeah, I'm going to hook up." I said,
no,
and they think they think that dating or talking to somebody on the phone for a week is old fashioned. I said, you wonder why you get the results that you get. You don't even know that person. Why would I always tell my guys, right? Why would you spend $1 on a person that you don't know? I don't care what it is. Why would you even try to have sex with somebody that you absolutely do not know? That makes absolutely no sense. Okay. At least I said
people move too fast.
Before that, it used to be you have to know the person at least 2 weeks. Okay. Unless it's like a random, one night stand, you just meet up and the stars are aligned or something like that. But the thing is, to date a person or go out with a person, it was at least 2 weeks. I said a few days talking to somebody on the phone is not that big a deal. Okay. Yeah. And if she doesn't want to talk to you on the phone, why would you date her?
Right.
Yeah.
You talking about a girl? What about guys?
Women should, women. I don't know what happened to women. Women, there should be an absolute must. Okay. Women used to, they had to know you. They had to know at least another person to check up on you. Okay. And had to at least talk to you on the phone for some women. It was like a month before they went out with you. I said that's safety, but
it takes me forever.
Everybody's not Shawana, okay? Everybody's not Shawana. But the thing is, Shawana, you're interesting to talk to, so people don't mind. That's the difference. Most people don't have that kind of personality. You know, it's like you talk to them on the phone, it's like, maybe we should meet up because I'm not getting it over the phone. So,
and some people, they don't want all that talk. They know what they want when they see a person. They after a particular thing. That's why people should, slow your roll. Slow your roll. That's why people are so hurt and so many disappointment, because they are assuming that somebody's into them when they're not. So it takes time to find out if a person really into you or they just want to get into you. Mm-hmm. Now, y'all catch that on the way home.
Well, even if that's the case, you should kind of practice some kind of caution.
Yes. But at least you should have knowing exactly what you want. I think in a relationship that you get into, I don't care what level, even if it's a friend or someone that you're interested in otherwise, you need to have goals and objectives. Why do I want to go out with Shawana? You need to look at your objective. I mean, what is your expectation?
Mm-hmm. It should be because you like the person. Okay, how do you know you don't like the person?
Right.
Without talking.
Or I want to get to know them better. I might like them, but it should be something in your mind. It should be a reason. Anything that we do, it should be a reason, not just randomly doing something. That's why information is so important. It's so important. Let me give the number out. We may have some people out there who want to talk with us and talk about their experience with not knowing information about the person they're out with, let alone not having information on the person you are with. You should have information on the person, friends, or somebody else that they know. The number is 310-928-7733. 310-928-7733. You can email us at innerlightradio.com. I'm sorry, innerlightradio@yahoo.com. And let us know what you're feeling. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about things that your family need to know?
Okay.
Should you not return home?
Okay,
it's
where
too
we
many
at?
Things.
Where we at? Number one,
Number one, they need to know your destination. Where you going when you leave?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Number two, information on the person you're with. What is that person's information? Mm-hmm. And you give that information to your family. They need to know. Because I remember coming up and dating. My dad, he had to have somebody come and they're going to take you out. Number one, they had to come in the house and meet my father. Now, see, we're in a whole new culture. Now you dating somebody for 8 months and your parents never seen that person. We better get back to some basic. That person had to come home, come in, and your father had to, look them over. They would go out and get the license plate number off the car.
Sometimes, it's getting so bad with these youngsters that you don't even know who the other person is until the baby's getting ready to come.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Too much hidden information. They would go look at the license plate, and my dad would say, "Boy, who your parents?" My dad had to know who their parents were. I guess he figured if their parents were no good, you ain't no good.
You know what they say, Dr. Rosie, you being too kind. Who your people, boy? You know how they said it. You know how they said it.
They didn't like your people.
They ain't like your people. Now, who your people?
That's right. If they didn't know who your people were, then you was not going to be taking them out. I recall, Keith, once I was going to, because I played ball in high school.
Okay.
Played basketball. I used to beat them boys real bad, okay? But anyway, this guy came, a friend of the family. I mean, Daddy knew we would all do things together. We all knew each other's parents. So I told the school bus that they didn't need to pick me up because I was going to ride with this boy named Ollie Lee.
Okay.
He came and blew his horn. And what did he do that for? I got up to go. My dad said, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm going to the game." "How you going?" "Well, Ollie Lee, he blowing out there on the road for you?" Wasn't no street, it was a road. I said, "Yeah, you don't live on the road." I said, "What that mean?" You better not go out that door. You better not go out that door. If he come here for you, he got to come to this house and knock on this door.
Yep.
Man, I was mad. So he drove off because he figured I was gone since I didn't run out there and get in the car.
Okay.
But that was a big lesson for me. He said, you don't live on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Here they would say you don't live on the street. But though we better go back to some of them old ways because those people knew something. They wasn't just making up doing this. They had some experience. They had seen something. They knew that was the way to go.
Mm.
So it's important. Now, when it comes to your personal information, but let me go back to two. It's really critical to get information on the person that you are with. Now, I'm not telling you to go in there and start running a make on them and calling your you know how some people do. They go run a make on you. You dating this guy, you need to find out everything. Something you can find out. And what should you try to find out, Keith, when you're dating someone? What do you need to find out?
Okay, the basic, how old she is, what she's into, her personality, where she lives. I ask what her, I always ask about what was your mother like? What was it like with you growing up? To actually get to know the person. Ask about the family, stuff like that, so I can get to know something about the person. If she's willing to share who her friends are. So, something about her. Something, nothing. Not where she works, but what does she do? So just general stuff.
Okay.
Because some people don't want to pry too much. What would you do? You hire somebody.
I would look at your Facebook page. No, I would look at the Facebook page.
Uh-huh.
A lot about a person.
Yeah.
Their Instagram, all their social media. You can see what they're about, really.
You know
what? Tell you what they're about.
You know what? I did talk to a programmer. He was in Seattle, and that's the way the young folks hook up. They trade Instagrams.
Mm-hmm.
They don't trade phone numbers. They trade what's your Instagram? And if I like what's I see on Instagram, I call you.
Wow, that's how they do it?
That's how they do it.
Oh, this is a new day. But that's interesting about the Facebook, Shawana, because I never thought about that. That is an interesting thing because it tells you something about them and the people that they're hanging with based on what they're posting,
Because I will go to other people's posts, like especially the ones that you see a lot of likes. Let me see who's liking this all the time. And you look at it and you get to know a lot about the person that you're dealing with, You do. So I think that's a good thing to do.
That's a good one. You guys, the number to call here is 310-928-7733. That's 310-928-7733. We're talking about what you need, what your family need to know about you should you not return home. Should you not make it back home? What are some of the things that your family need to know? They certainly need to know where your destination, when you left, and go where you say you're going. If you change your route, if you do something different, there's nothing wrong with picking up that phone and telling the person, I told you I was going here, but we decided to go here. Now, this may seem like little trivia stuff, but folks, this is important. And it is now when you see all the stuff happening in the world today. Now, your personal information, your family should know. People are so private. I don't want them to know. Look, that somebody needs to have your personal information when you leave home. You're going on a trip. Where is your living trust? Where is your will? Where is, people just need to know this stuff. So if something happened, if you don't get back, they know how to go find your stuff. Sometimes it takes people months trying to figure out what's going on with a person. You need to know. I've had people getting ready to take a trip, and they said, well, you know what? Can you get me in this week? I don't want to get on that flight without having my business in order. People are getting serious about this now, Keith. They realize I may not get back.
Yeah.
So let me get this trust done. Let me get this done. And let me do this before I get on this plane. People really need to start thinking that way. Not only when you get on that plane, when you leave home, you need to start thinking, what if I don't get back? Even if you just went to the store, went to the mall, you really should start thinking, is everything in order or not?
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
and I think, and if you don't want to share that information with people, because a lot of people are like, I'm not going to tell my kids anything. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. If you're not going to do that, put a folder right there in the front, wherever your things are, a folder. This is for you in case, just in case. Just in case anything happens to me, open this folder. And all the things should be placed in that one folder. You know, all your bills, all your
insurance policy,
anything, insurance policies, your properties, your trust, all the things should be placed in that folder, even if you didn't want to tell them anything. Because I know that there's been times when people have passed and they have insurance policies, and if they didn't know anything about it, how can they claim it?
Right.
You know, you can't. You can't. So you have to make sure everything is in order. If you don't want to tell anybody, have those special folders. This is for my kids in case anything happens to me. Place that on the front of it. In case anything happened to me, open this. You know.
Now, when you put that on it, you know the person going to open it because they realize, I want to know now. But you should be close enough. There should be somebody that you can trust enough that you can tell them that information. If it's not your kids, it could be another family member or friend.
It should be one person, and then there should be a help. You know, there should be somebody with a, like say, we keep everything in codes, right? There should be one person with the code. Okay, if they open that up, everything pops out.
Right.
Everything pops out. They get a certain device, or one person that you trust. They type in, that their 4-digit code. Everything about you that everybody needs to know can open everything up. Because nowadays it's too simple. You know, go to this website or go to a website, type in the code, boom, everything that you need to know comes up. Or personal device. Okay, come to the house. It's locked down. It's in the drawer. If you type in the code, you know, all the information is going to come out. But it has to be somebody that you really trust.
Right.
You know, bank accounts, everything that people need to know is in that code.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like that. Keith, you need to go ahead and put that together. I think that's sellable.
I think there's a couple of guys I know that are, you know, that could do that. Yeah, I think I'll give him a call and see what he thinks. Run it by, because he's in Austin and he's around all these tech people. So I think I will give him a call and talk to him about it. He's had a couple of good ideas.
Well, I think that'd be good. Now, the other thing we talked about, personal information, where's your will, where's your trust, where your bank accounts, because folks, millions of dollars goes unclaimed every year because people didn't know mama or dad had an account here. Mom and dad had an account over here. They had an IRA. They had insurance. They know nothing about you. And what happened, a lot of people go into those homes and they start just throwing stuff away instead of looking at every little piece of paper, everything in that house. They just go dumping, you know, or they don't.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, they don't look under the mattress. You'd be surprised what people keep under their mattress. And you go on about your business. So it is important to know what these things are. They shouldn't have to, if you have barrier disposition, they should know that you have arrangement already with Inglewood or whomever you have arrangement with. Your family should know that.
Right.
Because here they are arranging with somebody else and you've already paid to have it over here. It's just too much information, too much. That we don't give out. And again, I say like your financial institution, they should know. I mean, they should know. Somebody should know everything about you. Let's just put it that way.
I agree.
Somebody should know everything about you. We don't have that much secrecy that we can go through life acting the way a lot of people do. You know, all about your stocks and everything you should tell somebody. You should not be a secret. Everything they should know. How you want to be buried. What do you want for your end of life? Families fall out about decisions that you need to make for yourself.
Yep.
So it's time that we just get our house in order. It's time that we start opening up and don't be so secret and share with people. It's just time to share. It really is. I mean, I look at the fact how sometimes most neighborhoods, you don't even know your neighbor. They don't know you. I think we'll come into a space of closing in, and it just me and my family. I guess it goes back to the old saying, what goes on in this house stays in this house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But what staying in this house cannot be safe for you sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember when people would give their neighbor a key to their house. I guess you can't do that anymore, huh?
Well, we used to stay in one place, so we used to know everybody in the neighborhood.
Right. There was something happened and they didn't see you. They could come in, but now you're going to have to have sheriff to break the door down because nobody on your block don't even have your phone number if something happens. If your house burned down and you at work, your neighbor couldn't even call you. That's just how people are living these days.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody's siloed like that.
The good thing in our community where I live, because I know almost everybody in my neighborhood, and because of that, they're like, well, I want to know everybody like you. So we started to have community meetings. Like once a year, we all gather together to get to know each other and say, hi, how are you doing? Exchange numbers. We have a WhatsApp group for the group, for everyone. So if anything happens strange, they'll send out a text message. Hey, did you guys hear about this? Oh, this dog is lost. And so the whole neighborhood, and it was because of me and another young lady in the neighborhood that put it together, where we all know each other. Everybody says hi to each other, and everybody knows each other, and it's really important. My neighbor's door got accidentally opened, and her alarm was going off, and I had her number. I said, hey, your alarm is going off. Do you want me to go inside? It doesn't look like anyone broke in, but the door is open. And do you want me to go in? They said, yeah, go ahead in. And here's my code to my alarm. Shut it off.
Okay, yeah.
So, they gave me the code, and I checked the house. Nobody was in there, locked the door back, and then they came home and checked it as well. But I think everybody should be friends with the neighbors because it protects with the craziness that's going on in the world right now. You just never know. I think it's really important. If someone breaks into your house, you should be able to call your neighbor. I mean, you should call the police too. Don't get me wrong, 911. But if you call a neighbor, the neighbor can call 911 faster than you can if you need to be quiet.
Right.
So I think it's really important to have neighbors' numbers, to be close to your neighbors, and to start groups within communities, wherever you are, 2 or 3 block radius. Everybody gets together. Everybody gets to know each other. Everybody sticks together, and it works out really well.
And let them know when you're leaving out of town. A person should know when you expect to be back. And if you're not back, then what? They know something is wrong.
Yeah.
They know something's wrong. When Keith said he was going to return on Saturday, he's not back. And if you're changing your plans, changing your stay, you should have the courtesy also to let the people know that you decide to stay 3 more days, or you decide to stay another week, or you decide to leave that point and go on someplace else. In other words, keep in touch with the people who need to be in the know as to your whereabouts.
Yeah. I mean, we need well, everybody's siloed, and we do need to get back to a sense of community.
Exactly. It makes sense. But when you leave home, like I say, there's certain things need to be in place. And it's really important that the people know where you're going, who you're going with. I know it may be some occasion that you can't say who you're going with. It depends on the situation. But somebody, you ought to have a close enough friend, even if you're out with the wrong person. It should be somebody you still can tell. Don't you think so, Keith?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It has to be. It's got to be at least one contact person that knows everything about you.
Right.
At least one.
I think the reservation is when a person's out with somebody it should not be. So now, who could that person be? If you're out with somebody that you should not be, who do you think that person would be, Keith?
It depends on your age. If you're a younger person should be a parent, parent or grandparent. If you're older, then it should be one of the children that you trust. There's always one. Everybody has a favorite. So it should be whoever your favorite child is that you can trust. That's the person you should give your contact information to. So no matter what.
And I guess if a person's out with someone who's what your lifestyle is, that's what friends are for. They're still your friends. I still think somebody need to know who you're with, who you left with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if that person is married, because a lot of people do go on trips and do things with married men or married women. Why are you laughing, Keith? Keith, you been out with a married woman? Come on, Keith.
Not
Tell
knowingly.
the truth and shame the devil.
Not
what you
knowingly.
said, not knowing.
Not knowingly, okay. But the thing is that back in the day, if you're going out, you don't want anybody else to know your business. You always have a best friend. You always have a buddy. Okay. Women always have a group. Okay. They always have at least one person and one girlfriend in the group that they tell everything, because you're gonna tell everything anyway. Sooner or later, it's in all your business anyhow. That's the person you should tell. If you guys are going on one of those random adventures, one of those secret missions, that's the person you should tell. And you should give that person details what you're going to ready to do, where you're going, and when you're going to get back. So.
And information on the person you're with. Wouldn't you think so?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That should be ahead of time. And then your family should know if you went out on one of those secret missions. Okay, this is his boy. This is his road dog. Okay, if nobody else knows where he's at, this guy does, or this person, or this woman does.
In other words, somebody should always know your whereabouts. Bottom line, that's what we're talking about. Somebody needs to know which way you left going, when you said you were coming back. Because this is not the time to have anybody knowing, I want to keep everybody out of my business. You better put people into your business right now.
If you're going to cheat on your wife, tell your boy, okay? This is my side girl, my side chick, okay?
You mean talking about your, not your son, you're talking about your friend, right?
You're talking about your friend. No, you want to tell your kids, you're talking about your road dog, your best friend. All right, hey, man.
Telling your son, hey, honey, I'm cheating on your mama.
Hey, man, this is, my best friend used to do that all the time. Any of his side chicks, okay, he'd always bring her by for me to check out. So his wife didn't know, but all his side chicks, I knew every one of them.
Why do you guys have to call her a side chick?
Really? What does that mean?
Why can't she just be his girlfriend?
His chick.
Because your girlfriend, your girlfriend is your main chick, but your side chick is the chick on the side.
Chick on the side.
You know how you have the main dish?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What goes with the main dish? Your side dish, right?
Yeah, your side dish.
That's still part of the meal, but your side dish.
You like that too. You like that side chick thing, huh?
That makes them feel.
Shawana, call me. I'll explain it to you. I think I already have.
No, I know. I hear it all the
time. More
likely
to share.
Well, okay, and
share where they're going.
And I think I talked to Dr. Rosie about this. There's 3 levels of male commitment, right? Jump off side chick, girlfriend, and then wife. And depending on her qualifications, that's the level that she's going to attain to. So I've seen all 3, and I talked to guys, and basically every guy that I talk to agrees with it. Okay, those 3 levels, and why you have them at those 3 levels.
But if you don't have a wife, then what? Is it still a side chick?
Oh yeah, okay.
He have three side chicks. Nobody is the main dish.
Three side chicks.
I'll explain to you with Dr. Rosie's permission. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The bottom level is your side chick, jump off, or whatever it is, right? And that's sexual. Okay. She you know, she ain't gonna come pick you up if you stranded, right? She ain't gonna come get you at the airport. Because that's not her job. Her job is to have fun with you, have sex with you, and that's it, right? So if she goes, if she got a boyfriend, husband, whatever it is, you don't care because you're not committed to her that way. When we get together, we have a good time. When we split up, that's all there is, right? Your girlfriend is emotionally committed to you, right? So she's the one if she's the one you call if you have a flat tire. She's the one if you need a check to actually hit the bank, right? She's committed to you. She's emotionally committed to you that way, right? She's down for you, all that kind of stuff. Your wife is the last day. That's when the money comes in, like Dr. Rosie says, right? Financially, you're financially responsible for your wife and vice versa, right? If she's reckless with your money, she's got debt, she got all that kind of stuff. When you marry her, you inherit all that stuff. So financial thing, the children thing, the household thing is wife level. Okay, so those are 3 levels. And if you if a girlfriend is loose with money, she's not good with money, she got a lot of debt, blah, 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 she's not going to elevate to wife because you got to inherit all that stuff. So she might be a good person, she might be down for you, she might be supportive, she might be faithful, she might be loyal, but guess what? When it comes to that money part, you can't rock with her. She's not financially stable like that. So if your girlfriend is not stable, financially stable, household stable, she's not a wife. She's a girlfriend, right? And same thing
what you're saying is she's not good for you. That's what I think.
She's not good. She's not good for you at that level, right? Because you can have a girlfriend for 20 years, 10, 15, 20 years, right? But the thing is, you don't want to have kids by her. You don't have anything that's financially tied to her, right? You don't want that because then you're on the hook for that. So that's girlfriend level. The next level with kids, house, money, all that kind of stuff. The woman has to be stable enough for you, and that's wife. So those are the 3 levels. That's like I'm a side chick.
Put all that in a book.
Yeah.
You need to put that in a book.
Well, he's supposed to be writing that book for me.
Right. You need to do that.
I have put him on notice over a year ago. I need my book. Okay. I know you've been writing.
See, the class levels, the octanes. That's a different book, right? One is written for the men.
Well, we need this book too.
One's written the class level is written for men, right? But the 3 levels are actually written for women because what is it? I don't want to take too long. I had 3 women ask me, okay, why does a guy date a woman for 5 or 6 years? They break up and then 6 months later gets married to somebody else, right? So I went out and asked all the guys and came back, okay, they didn't marry her because she didn't qualify for a wife. So she could have been with him for 10 years and they cool, they have a good time, they travel, but he never pops a question because she doesn't qualify for his wife.
She doesn't want her to have his children.
The thing is, whatever it is that he wants out of a wife, she doesn't qualify. And I asked most guys, okay, when did you know that a woman was qualified for a wife? And most guys say within 6 weeks.
Wow.
Within 6 weeks, they know that she's a potential wife.
Tim, so you're absolutely right about this, Keith. Tim agreeing with you.
Okay, Tim.
Within 6 weeks. That's why I say with women, if he hasn't, I say within a year or so, if he hasn't started talking about marriage or something like that, I said, okay, you probably don't qualify as wife to him. I said all women, I said max is 3 years. Okay, if you've been a girlfriend to him and you want to get married and you've been with this guy for 3 years, max, cut it off. Okay, you don't. It's not that you're a bad person. It's not that there's something wrong with you. You don't qualify for a wife for him.
Now, see, that's the information that that's the information that women really need to know, because I feel like if you're dating somebody for a year is long enough without a commitment. If you don't, what the song says, if you don't know me by now, you would never know me.
Because women say, well,
I was going to say the same thing.
What were you going to say?
That women need to. I mean, we need to stop moving so quickly too, because a lot of women move really fast, with men, and they feel like, oh my God, he's the one. I hear that all the time. I'm like, girl, you don't even know him. How is he the one? How are you saying you're in love with him? Are you really in love with him, or are you just in love with love? You know,
he might be the one for her, but she might not be the one for him, and that's where the problem comes in.
He's never the one for her either. He's never the one for her either, because a month from now they'll be like, oh, I can't stand him. But we move so quickly, you know, that I was in love, and then a month later you're not.
I'll end this one with this story, right? Because this is actually a story told me to a friend of mine. She's in Canada, right? And her aunt, right, had dated this, had been a girlfriend to this guy for like 17 years. They had 3 kids, right? And she always wanted to get married to him, right? So after 17 years and 3 kids, he said, you know what? Okay, let's get married, right? Guess what happened 2 years later?
They divorced.
They divorced, you know, and guess who initiated the divorce?
Was it the woman?
She did. You know why? She finally realized why he wasn't a husband for her, and vice versa.
Wow.
She figured out he was right.
Wow. Keith, see what's on the board. G Money has put something on the board. Who is G Money?
Okay. G Money says, I don't like dating a girl and her best friend too. What if I don't like her? And well, what if I do? Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, G Money. It depends on how long you date her, right? Me and Shawana talked about this. It depends on how long you date her. And maybe we'll do a show on this because everybody always asks questions. If you date her, if you want to know where you fit in her life, or you're going to be like a main guy or a potential main guy, she will always introduce you to her crew, they call it a female hierarchy group, right? There's like 5 or 6 women that's down for her best friend. They all have something in common, right? She'll always introduce you to them first. Okay, check him out. See if he's qualified to be part. If you're gonna date or marry, you go always marry part of a group. Women don't travel by themselves. Okay, very seldom see a woman that travels by herself. She's always got a group, a hierarchy group, that girlfriends that in her ear that she respects, and you got to fit into that group. And they will always let you know what they like. If she gets a guy or dates a guy or marries a guy that they don't like, they will give her hell for the rest of her life. See, Negroes, a woman should never marry that Negro, okay? You know he wasn't no good.
Shawana? Is that how we do? Do we do that, Shawana?
Is she there?
I think we lost Shawana.
She was getting ready to get wound up. But G Money, that you're always gonna, if it's a serious dating, right? You're always gonna date her friends, okay? It is what it is, okay? I always knew. And when a woman was actually serious about me, she introduced me to her group.
So you better try to be nice and better try to act like you like her friends, even if you don't.
Yeah, you show up at brunch, and we're going here, honey. You show up at a brunch, there's like 5 people sitting there with you looking at you. Oh God, okay, I know what this is.
Wow.
I know what this is.
Well, you guys, it's time to end our show, but we want you to really think about. Seriously, about the things you need to have your family to know when you leave home. Let them know where you're going. You're a big girl, you're a big boy. So if you're going to Motel 6, just tell them what street.
Tell your boy if something happens, I'm going to be at the Motel 6 at this time from this time. And if she nuts, man, hey, if I give you emergency text, come get me. Okay.
That's right. You better let somebody know, because sometimes you go out with people, you think you know them, and you're not really sure because you haven't had enough time to really get into depth about this man or this woman. You know, you may find out something later, because I was listening to Steve Harvey's show, and some woman had gone out with the man, and she paid for the dinner, and then when he was taking her home, he was going a different way. And she said, where you going? He said, to my house. She said, well, I'm not going to your house. He said, well, you get out. Ooh. He put her out of his car. So women don't ever leave home without cab fare or something, okay?
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, you don't know. A person can look like they got it all together, and you go out with them. You know, you should have a secret code too, Keith, that if you call your girlfriend or your daughter, whomever, if you put in a certain code, that needs to mean I'm in trouble. Now, you all listen up. That's important. You need a code when I need help without having to utter the word, that you can text that person. And they'll know. They already know where you are. Then they know to call the police or to come and see about you. Folks, code is very important because sometimes people look like they have it all together and you out with a cuckoo and don't know it.
You don't know it, yeah.
So they ain't going to show that cuckooism until you out with them. They're not going to show it before. They know how to play their hand. So you need to have codes. You need to have 2 or 3 people who know what those codes are. And when you're in trouble, when you need help, when something's going wrong, you need to be able to let that person know. Then they can call the police or come to see about you because we're in a crazy world right now. And people look sane. That's not. People act sane. Crazy people know when to act sane. That's why when you take them to see a psychiatrist think you crazy for bringing them in because they straighten up.
Yep.
You'd be surprised. And they, well, what you bring him in here? There's nothing wrong with him. And you go, oh, my God. Folks, take this show to heart. Share with your family. Share with your friends that there's stuff that your family need to know when you leave home.
Yep.
Should you not return that information that your family needs to know. So make sure they have that information. It's good for you and it's good for those you leave behind. So you guys have a great day. We're signing off. Same time next week. We'll be talking to you again. So have a great day.